this topic is we're gonna leave it in the comment section below, but this topic is about Doja Cat. And pretty much O'Shea Duke Jackson, he's a YouTuber that's been in the Black Manosphere. For those of you who don't know that term, it's pretty much like a corner of YouTube that talks about specifically and exclusively almost about Black men and how to improve themselves, the issues that surround us and whatnot. So for those of you who don't know, Doja Cat is I guess you could say controversial for sure. She is a pop artist, a pop star. She to give a little bit of context, I believe she is from South Africa.
Yeah, they said she's South African, Jewish, and something else.
Yeah, her mother was South African, as far as I know, white South African, and her father was Black.
Yeah, her mom was definitely white. I saw, if you look at the video that we'll link, then it definitely shows her mom.
Yeah, so to give you a little bit of context, so in this story that O'Shea covered, she was dating a very quote unquote nerdy looking European dude, and for argument's sake, or not just for argument's sake, but you could look at Doja Cat and you could kind of not see someone like her being with a dude like that. No offense to the dude, but like, she's really attractive.
Yeah, she's a pop star. But she's a pop star. So for me to describe it, like literally, like the dude is like super nerdy, like long hair. And but that's the thing about European men, they're different, definitely different from like American men in general. Their style is a lot different. Things that wouldn't necessarily be like okay in the United States like that you wouldn't, things that you would wear things in Europe that you would get judged for in the United States, hands down. Like there's a lot of outfits out here that are just like, why is this dude wearing them? But it's like European culture. And I'm speaking from somebody who lives in Europe, and I've seen it when I've gone out where it's just like, this outfit's a little wild. But to be honest, like European streetwear, like Japanese streetwear, like it's kind of lit. Like,
it's kind of weird. Korean streetwear too. It's like, but we get into that another time. But pretty much to finish the story, or with the point that O'Shea was getting at, I don't want to misquote him, but like the essence of it was, his argument was that you have Doja Cat, who I guess follows the same mentality as a lot of quote unquote Black women in America. And like, why is it that a woman with her attractiveness level, or her status and everything, would take up a nerdy dude, or a dude that looks like her boyfriend? I mean, it is what it is, no everybody judgment on him.
Yeah, but the thing,
but if it was a black, but if it was a Black dude,
was that the argument of like, Black men only go after foreign women, white women, they don't go after Black men. But the thing that he's essentially, this is like from what I've watched, if a successful Black woman, like an attractive Black woman, saw a dude who looked like this and he was black.
Did I do that?
Think about the nerdiest anime kid that you ever seen in high school, and like I'm talking about like hardcore nerdy, like Naruto running down the hallway nerdy, and like him with the top cheerleader, or the prom queen or something like that. Like it's just not something that you see on a regular basis. And us talking about it from the Blerd point of view, I mean, for me, when I was growing up, like I did hide like my nerdiness, because I mean, most women don't want to see that, or especially when we're in like high school and growing up and stuff like that. And even now, like, I mean, I still play video games, I still watch anime and things like that, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, who cares? Like, if I'm doing things that make me happy, then why should it even matter? And I will say that the culture is changing.
Yeah, it's really good.
A lot, because in the past, this might be a valid argument, because like anime started blowing up recently. And when I say recently, maybe in like, let's just say 5 years, the last 5 years has slowly been growing. Content creators and gamers have been developing a lot quicker just because of COVID, and then Twitch and things like that. So all these things are becoming socially normal, but there's still a problem where, quote unquote, not my saying, Black women are still like, these dudes are nerdy. Like, I mean, we've heard the conversation where Black women have been like, oh, I want a dude who's like goes to the gym, he's athletic, he makes good money, he drives a nice car, this and that. But it's like, as a nerd, as a blerd out here, like, you can do the same thing. Like, you can make just as much money on Twitch, you can make just as much money on YouTube, you can wear Skechers, you can have your pants pulled all the way up with the belt, and your shirt tucked in, and a collared shirt that's too big for you, and just like not get a haircut and not do all these things, but you still won't get the girls that you want. To a certain extent. I mean,
to a certain extent,
not saying that every woman is like that and every Black woman is like that, but there are a lot of stereotypical women like that who essentially would not go after like the nerdy dude over like the jock, the athlete, the dude who's like bald in the gym and just big and just has no hobbies but going to the gym. They want to wonder why. Speaking to my homeboy, he was just like he's in the gym all the time, and he's just like, yo, I don't have any other hobbies. Like, and it's just like, I get it to a certain extent, but like either way, I told him, I was like, yo, women will go after you just because of the way you look, just because of like, you know how to dress. You look like you can protect them. Maybe that's the biggest thing, is like,
I think that's the biggest thing. I think so. It's kind of like a complex topic, because I think that overall, and we touched on this before, but like the whole image of the Black man has been not so great, especially how mainstream society in America has portrayed us at times, and sometimes how we portrayed ourselves, like this hyper masculine, like, I guess, like, for a better term, brutish, whatever, hyper aggressive, whatever.
But that's not every Black man. I mean,
that's not every Black man, of course, for sure. But I think what it is, and I mean, this is veering into another topic with single parent households. When a lot of young girls look at that image, they internalize that as like, oh, that is the type of Batman I should go after. So if you have a Black boy growing up, and I don't know, he grew up in a suburban area, or he was introduced to different things, and he like plays the accordion or plays a trumpet or plays video games, especially in our era, like we not getting much attention from females. I mean, like that.
There's a lot of memes where it's just like the nerdy dude who's smart and things like that, and it's just like, oh, these girls don't want me. Later on in life, he's successful, he's making money, he's doing all these things that the jock and all these other guys weren't doing, like the athletes, and now the girls are like, oh, hey, like, remember me from back in, exactly. Like, oh, I see you got your little Ferrari right there. I see you driving a BMW. What you doing? Like, no, I'm good. Like, but that's kind of toxic in itself too, because now that dude has put himself in a space where it's like, well, I don't necessarily need a woman. I don't want a woman who's going to potentially going after his possessions, because at that point he doesn't know if the woman's there for his possessions or if she's there for like because she really cares. And I guess that's something that you just have to live and learn and find out. But with that being said, I mean, the second part of, let me try to remember. So the second part that he went into, oh jeez, I can't remember. He went into a second part of the video where he was let me watch it real quick, but you go ahead and take the mic real quick.
So to kind of go back into that that topic or that section is, I think that it also speaks to what we were talking about before about instant gratification. So I think that especially now, women in American society, they want a dude that is like ready-made rich or whatever. And I think certain people in the Black manosphere touched on it. I believe O'Shea touched on it, where there's another issue where I think a lot of Black women feel like nerdy dudes like Blerds often, when they grow up, they get with non-Black women. And I think the issue with that is that I believe that a lot of non-Black women have, because a lot of them, I mean, I don't mean to talk bad, but a lot of them they come from a two-parent household, so it's easier for them to pinpoint certain traits in guys that have potential. Not necessarily guys that have money now, but if they see you and you're working hard at school, you're to yourself, you're not showy, you have traits that they see in their father, then they will pinpoint you better. Whereas Black women, sometimes it's kind of hard because they don't have that male figure to kind of like have a template off of. And this is just talking points that I've heard, not from me. Because
even you say like Black women who have older brothers, like they kind of like, okay, I want somebody not necessarily exactly like their brother, but they want somebody who can make them feel safe. Because this is just my thought, like random thought, but I think that women want to feel a certain level of comfort with their dude that kind of reminds them, because you got to think like it reminds you a father's love for his daughter is never going to be, that's true love. Like it's something that you cannot recreate. So to say that they go after a somewhat feeling of that when they look for their partner is not necessarily a far stretch. Not saying that like, oh, they're looking for somebody who's exactly like their dad. They're looking for somebody who's exactly like their brother, but they want somebody who can make them feel safe, essentially, and not feel like they have any means to do them any harm, no matter what. Like unconditional love, essentially.
That's kind of why height is a big thing.
Well, I just looked it up. The second part of what he was saying was, so now you have all these Black women who are going after like dudes that are like nerdy or rich or this and that. Like, but if a Black man was the same build, same like into the same stuff, he wouldn't get any play, essentially. But then you have the men who are just like, okay, these Black women don't want me, I'm gonna go get me a girl in another race, and she likes like what I do. Like she likes me playing video games, she likes the anime, she likes me not being super overly masculine and things like that. And that's just, I mean, it be like that sometimes, like truthfully, like, and that's the difference between like Western women and then women in the European I mean, even in Europe, Japan, like, I mean, you could even think about South America, like just in general, like Western culture is just kind of like, for lack of better words, like it's in a bubble. Let's just say it's in a strange place. We'll put it that way. And we're not definitely not bashing women, Black women. Like, I mean, some of my first crushes were definitely Black girls when I was growing up. But it's just a thing where it's like it's a pretty interesting perspective, you know. And on another note, you know, with Doja Cat's history, I can kind of see where she's coming from. She's said some stuff that are kind of controversial, but I can see where she's coming from. I can see her certain idiosyncrasies towards Black men. And it also points out to what we're talking about in our videos about music. You can check that out in our channel. Sure. Where our image is important, man. It's I mean, image. But that's the thing,
because it goes both ways. Because you have some Black women that will look at us and be like, you know, Black men are this, and XYZ.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna date a white dude, or I'm gonna date another man of another race. And then you have black women that would be like, oh, this dude why is he watching these weird cartoons and doing all this stuff? Like, I'm gonna go over here. So
we've all heard the conversation.
Yeah, we've all heard this.
Like, I mean, growing up as a blerd, like pretty much you're just like you had to be. So that's why I was kind of like a hybrid blerd, so to say. Like, you had to adapt and overcome essentially to a certain extent. But like at one point I was like super nerdy, super quiet, not very outgoing or anything like that. I started hanging out with my Hispanic homeboys, and they'd be wild and stuff like that. They taught me a couple things, but it just, as I got older, I realized that I just keep the stuff that I like to myself, and then not necessarily putting off a different persona, but like essentially just being like, yeah, I got my own hobbies. If you get to know me enough, then you'll learn like what I actually like, but not necessarily putting that out on the surface. And that gets you to a certain extent to, get what you want. I don't know. That's like, it'll get you the girl that you want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the girl that you get is going to be the one that you want.
Trust me, like, you're not the only one. There's a lot of dudes that I grew up with, because I didn't hide it. Like, I got picked on, made fun of, all that stuff, but I didn't hide it. I didn't care. But there's a lot of dudes who were doing the same dirty stuff at home, but like, at school they were hiding it, and they could hide it well. But now it's awesome for you guys, because you can like all the anime you want, and there are girls that aren't hiding it too, because there were girls too that were hiding it. Let's be honest. But obviously it's on the same side with us, because it's not only us as male blerds,
it's like women,
it's girls too.
Like,
but they don't want
to would be like, oh no, she's in the anime and all this.
She's
stuff.
weird.
She reads books. Like, yo, like it's like, yo, her books, like all her books are upside down, like she's reading it backwards. Like, good. Like, bro, that's a manga. Like, I'm gonna need you to chill.
You uncultured swine.
For real, dog. Like, but that's the thing, is like, it's more so like in the black culture, like it's like we dog is like, when it, like the saying is like, yo, it be your own people, like for real. Like,
we don't play to roast each other too, and it's not just in America, it's like everywhere.
Oh yeah, but I mean, that's the thing, is like dudes, like black dudes from like England and stuff like that. We gotta find somebody from like England, like, bro, like, them dudes are wild. Like, they be talking about American dudes, but them dudes, like, from what I've seen, there's like a show where it's like it's like a dating show, I think it is, but like it looks like every week. It looks like they're like the RDC world of like England.
Of Brits. Oh yeah, shoot.
Like, so I'll find the links. But
if you're from the UK, leave a comment. You're trying to get a UK dude from here. For real. Because Gio's Canadian, so.
Wait, he's Canadian?
Yeah.
He's pretty much from England. Nah, yo,
you're taking the L.
Yo, let me live out here, bro. Like, no. But truthfully, if we could find like black men from all around the world, like, that would be dope, because that'll be something that we'll have something special for you guys when we get into our Africa talk. But let's just leave it open for discussion at this point. If you're a blerd dude or female, how do you feel about your experiences growing up, and how has it changed now? Because right now it feels like it's the perfect time to be a blerd. Like, if you look awesome. At TikTok, bro, like everybody's like, yo, where the blerds at? Where the black community? Where the black TikTokers? Like, all the stuff that I see on there, like, and the people I try to follow, black dudes, black females, all doing like cosplay, anime stuff, anime edits, like having real life conversations about anime. Because like that wasn't something that you talked about
20 years ago. I would never imagine this. Not at all.